Where'd they go? There they are. Just a mass of peregrines flying overhead a second ago. Now I just see a couple. Let's see them way out there. I don't know where they all went. I'm back at my favorite place. And this is going to be a really weird talk, really weird video. Just kind of some inner thoughts from your buddy. I was just really struck on the way in, guys, driving in today. I mean, it's just a one-night stay. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day. So I'm just doing some R&R, favorite restaurants, hotel, lots of baths, you know. And I'm just, you know, driving up 97. Took the scenic route this time. And, you know, it was gorgeous. And I just started getting really emotional driving through all the small towns on the way up. You know, I drive through them all the time, and it's usually a semi-emotional, positive feeling. But today it was kind of melancholy, and you know, I started with Bruce Hornsby here, my guy, probably my favorite recording artist of all time. Just saw him this past fall at the Warner Theater in Washington. And you know, it's probably the guy's last tour. God bless his heart. I think he is he is just one of the best American musicians ever. I'm biased, of course, but you know, it was a very enjoyable show. It was great to see him again. That was probably my 4th time seeing Bruce Hornsby in concert. But his voice was really straining. In fact, earlier in the concert, he had to cancel a show or two because his voice was just giving out. You know, the guy's probably about 70 now. I'm not sure exactly how old he is. Nice to see lots of folks up here today. I'm really amazed at how many people are up here. We're getting out of winter and kind of moving on in slowly to early spring. But I don't know. I used to you know, I used to kind of be struck by whenever I was a kid and my folks would be watching the Oscars or some similar type of show, right? And there would be some kind of tribute to some actor who just passed away recently, and they'd get all emotional and choked up, and I thought it was kind of funny and kind of weird. Now I'm starting to get it. Because I feel the same way about Hornsby. When that guy dies, I'm going to be very, very sad. And I'm also realizing, I think on the drive in today, I was kind of finally understanding my own mortality. Which is kind of not an unusual thing to think about when you're at Gettysburg or on your way to Gettysburg. A lot of the brave men who fought here on both sides certainly had their lives cut short for the causes that they thought were right. And geez, I mean, my life is 2/3 over, and it's just starting to dawn on me. I'm turning 50 this year. Just to let you guys in on a little secret. Some of you might have thought I was, I don't know, my 30s or 40s. Well, I'm about to be in my 50s. And one of the crazy things is I never thought I would make it this far. And a good handful of people who knew me didn't either. When I was young, I was pretty wild. You know, there are wilder folks out there, and luckily I never got stuck on any hard drugs or did anything really, really crazy. But I mean, I was certainly down the wrong path, and could have very well earned myself a 20-year sentence or worse. Thank God I didn't. Thank God I turned things around in time, you know, with the help of a lot of folks, including my parents. And I'm 50 now, just about, and the crazy thing about historians, I mean, I think I don't know, I don't hang out with a lot of other historians or self-proclaimed historians, but one crazy thing that always hits me is my scope of my worldview and my view on life is a lot bigger and longer than most people's. You know, most people have, you know, a much more limited scope, and this isn't, you know, a value statement, okay? This is just, you know, I'm just being objective. Historians, you know, see things in a much broader and longer context than other people, and I certainly fall into that category. And it's real. It's a real dichotomy, I guess is the word to describe how I feel at this point in my life, because, you know, I'm always studying history and just absolutely wrapped up and engrossed in events that happened long ago, sometimes decades ago, sometimes hundreds of years ago, sometimes even further back. And I'm also often thinking ahead as to, you know, the trajectory that our society is heading in. And sometimes it's, you know, I'm very detached, which I think is probably a good attribute of a historian. However, you know, in one's personal life, it's not always the best thing. And I forget that I'm about 50. 2/3 of my life have blazed by, and it's so fleeting. It's so short. And I know how short it is. I mean, based upon what I just told you, as well as the fact that my sister died when I was almost 20 years old, and she was 21, and her life was cut short in an unfortunate accident, driving on her way back to school to University of Tennessee. And I've known much of my life how short life can be, but again, I didn't expect to make it this far. I only have 2 minutes left, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm trying to say. But you know, I'm passing through these small towns, and you know, like I keep mentioning lately, things are changing right now really fast, for better and for worse, and in my opinion, oftentimes, you know, not really for the best. We're rushing into a brave new world, which is going to be much more controlled. There's going to be less freedom. And I'm 50, and I wish I could see how this plays out. I dearly wish, even though I feel like I know pretty much how it's going to play out, I wish that I could live to see this through and live to see where we end up, but I can't. And I'm just wondering if, you know, other people who are really into history have the same thoughts, and I don't know. It's just a real mind F, if you catch my drift. Every bone in my body wants to, you know, yell to people and shake them and say, stop for a second, look at where we're going. We're moving too fast. We're not going in the right direction. But there's nothing I can do about it. And I don't know. I just don't know. Like I said, this is gonna be a weird talk. Hopefully this doesn't get posted, but these are just kind of some inner thoughts that I've been having lately, and maybe some of you guys can relate. I don't know. Anyhow, I'm not gonna do much shooting. I always say that, but I'm gonna go off and get something to eat and go settle in. So I'll see you guys.